Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Wake Up! Today's episode we're gonna talk briefly about Dragon Ball and how amazing it is. It's really good. It was my gateway anime when I was a child and I thought I was done with it for a very long time, but it still manages to reel me in. The real subject of today is, well, there might be branches, but the point is I saw the Broly movie. It was fucking amazing. It was everything that Dragon Ball promised it would be over the last 20 plus years. Finally got the job done. What it really is though is that movie is just a combination of 3 movies. You can give it points for originality, but not too many, because it's the story of Bardock, it is then the Broly movie, and then it's Fusion Reborn towards the end. And it just fixes everything that was wrong with all of those movies and just puts them all together and tells a great story, I guess you could say. I do like that supposedly the Bardock part was a rehashing of the manga, which was called Dragon Ball Minus. I thought that was really cool because they stayed true to the whole Bardock doesn't trust Frieza arc and that Frieza's gonna kill them and all kinds of shit like that. But they fleshed that out. They made it a lot more fun. They showed us a young Vegeta and a young Raditz. They showed us Nappa with hair. That shit was great. We got to meet Goku's mom, Jine, I believe it is. That's really cool. That was really, really cool. The animation was fucking phenomenal. It was beautiful. The style was so different. I don't even know how else to get into it. It was just really, really good. Then the Broly parts itself, like, thank God they fleshed him out. There was no more angry cause I can't sleep because Goku's making a lot of noise. They got rid of that, thank you God. I especially love that Broly wasn't even mad. Like, he's not an angry character. He's docile and he was just triggered. He was just forced into this. Like, he has the power, like he has all that berserker rage power, but he doesn't see a need for it. He just wants to live his life. And fucking, he gets exiled because he's too strong. He becomes friends with a giant bear. His father doesn't like that, so he cuts the bear's ear off, which explains the big tarp around his waist. I thought that was an amazing explanation for that, because otherwise it would have been a ridiculous color scheme, like in the original movie. He was already upset that, like, he got exiled and shit, and now he's upset that his father just forced him to separate from his best friend, the only friend he ever had. And then towards the end, the whole reason for because like he doesn't go full Berserker Broly from start to finish. He does it in steps. He goes from regular Broly to like Great Ape Broly without the tail. So all the power of a Great Ape inside of him. So that's why his hair is still black, but it's spiky. I'm cosplaying that version of him. Fuck yeah. I don't remember why he went Super Saiyan, but he went Super Saiyan sometime like after. I don't even remember if he was triggered or not, but he went Super Saiyan shortly after. I think it's because he learned. He watched Goku and Vegeta do it, and he learned. As far as him going like full on gigantic, it was because Frieza, who hired Paragus and Broly to work for him and try and kill Vegeta and Goku, he remembered what caused Goku to turn Super Saiyan. So he killed Paragus. This made me realize that Frieza actually is evil. And yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer, but growing up, watching all incarnations of him, seeing him in different games, in different movies, coming back to life, dying again and again, it really softened the blow of his existence. Like, I didn't take him seriously, ever. To me, he was always a joke. This was the first time I ever saw Frieza and thought, wow, you are really fucked up. I mean, yes, he enslaves whole races and sells their planets and then destroys them, and that's pretty bad, and it's wrong of me to say that I didn't realize how evil he was then, but that's not the point. That's not the point, okay? Broly was triggered by Frieza killing Paragus, so that pushed him over the edge. So there was a justifiable reason for each stage of Broly's transformation. Yeah, he wasn't even like angry at Goku and Vegeta. It was just like he was forced to do so by both his father and Frieza. They told him to go fight, and then they gave him reasons to get angrier and angrier. He didn't even die at the end of the movie. That's what makes me so happy. Thank God. I'm not gonna spoil it any further for my good friend Christian over there, but yeah. And then, of course, Gogeta didn't really have a place in this movie, but I love it because Gogeta is my favorite fusion. Not only did we see base form, which has never been seen before. We've seen base form Gogeta. We saw him turn Super Saiyan for a little bit, and then he went blue. And each time it felt like, yes, he's ascending. Like with each phase of the fight or each form that we saw him take, things got more intense. Things got more serious. And then like by the end, like there was no doubt that Gogeta was gonna finish the fucking job. Like we were confident. Because dude was doing moves we've never seen before. It was just so awesome. As a matter of fact, there's a move that Goku did earlier in the movie that pissed Pouch off. Because Pouch doesn't remember that Goku learns things from everybody. I'm calling you out. I didn't mean to do that. But I did it. There's a telekinesis move that Goku does that Gogeta then does later, and he does it to a much greater extent. You even see it in the trailer, but you don't know what's happening, and it's so great. But anyway, I was talking about this with a coworker of mine. I was talking about this movie. We were both geeking out. Like we were just going nuts over it because it was great. He hasn't seen Super. He just saw this movie. Oh, actually, real quick, you don't need to watch Super to get this movie. It takes place at the end of the survival arc, but there's a passing reference to it. That's really it. It's just like, oh, this wouldn't have happened if this didn't happen. And they go right into the movie. You really only need to see the Battle of the Gods and Resurrection F to understand this movie. Outside of that, you're good. But in talking to him about this, he who has seen Dragon Ball and then Z and then this movie, I was telling him that I watched a little bit of Dragon Ball when I was younger, and I went back and I watched like a clip or two, and I realized Z and Dragon Ball are so very different. And it actually bummed me out a little bit, because Dragon Ball was like a story about an adventure, like a kid who's trying to collect 7 balls to summon a dragon and make a wish, as far as I remember. And Z is just fight after fight after fight after fight after fight, and everyone's just ascending in levels, and the rules never seem to be consistent. Somebody I know made a very good point about how the strongest threat in the universe was Frieza. He was above everything else, and then only Goku was strong enough to take him out. And in the very next arc, Frieza comes back, and some kid from the future who can't beat his own threat was good enough to take Frieza out in seconds. The very threat that he couldn't defeat shows up there, and now they're all fucked. What? Furthermore, Frieza is an alien, like a sentient being, and he's organic, he was created as he is with all those powers. They took humans, and Dr. Gero took humans and put mechanical pieces inside them and made them cyborgs. I don't know why they called them androids in the show. I guess it sounds cooler than cyborg. But they called them androids, made them androids, and they were stronger than Frieza? Like, it's one thing if you're gonna change the whole format of the show. It's another when you're gonna do it and not make sense. I love Dragon Ball so much. It's shaped a lot of my tastes in the modern era. It got me into a lot of the anime that I'm into now. It's the reason I like to exercise and all kinds of shit like that. Like Dragon Ball shaped a good portion of me. A small portion, but a good portion. You gotta learn to make more sense, Akira. Like when Super ended, I was happy. I was like, okay, we got another great story that was awesome. It was 100 and something episodes, 130 episodes, and they were great. Thank you so much. And then I hear that the movie's coming, and I'm like, oh, even better. This could actually put like the fucking bow, tie a little knot on the end of the series. And then there's an announcement that the show's gonna come back. And they started working on Dragon Ball Heroes, which was a fucking mess. There's like 6 or 7 episodes that are about 10 minutes long each, and it doesn't make sense. Sure, they showed us some really dope shit. Like they showed us Vegito with a black gi, and he turned Super Saiyan Blue. They showed us Goku, Super Saiyan Blue fighting Super Saiyan 4 Goku. That was cool. They showed us a golden cooler. That wasn't cool. That wasn't cool at all. I understand that Golden Frieza is literally Frieza, but golden with hip separation and more square eyebrows and like a purple mouth. Like there's minor detail changes. Golden Cooler is just mega cooler, but golden. Like that's bad. I'm way more willing to accept Golden Frieza before I'll ever accept Golden Cooler. That was shit. This is what's happening when you force things. Like right now, we're probably 12 minutes into this video and I'm somewhat forcing these points, but this is what happens when you force shit. You could have just ended the series with the Broly movie, but now you're gonna start this shit over, and you did Dragon Ball Heroes, which is based off of a game that's exclusive to Japan, so nobody out here is gonna know what the fuck is going on, and that's just gonna tank. But it's Dragon Ball, we're gonna watch it anyway. We're still gonna put our money down, and I find myself always talking shit about something, and then I finish with, but I'm gonna see it anyway. Pretty much, I'm contributing to the problem.
I hate it so much. I'm gonna see it.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Dropping Loads Productions and a Real Dorkie Hero. It was a whole lot of fun, guys, and until next time, we love dropping loads.